Mr. Reed, about a week after Mayor Emery Farmer presented his redistricting plan, you came up with a plan of your own. How does your plan differ from the mayor's plan?
My plan differs from the mayor's plan primarily about my plan gives the black districts more blacks than the mayor's plan does, and particularly District 3.
You mentioned on several occasions that the mayor's plan gerrymanders your district away from you. Could you explain how this was done?
Yes, the mayor's plan, the mayor really takes about 3,000 folk out of District 3, and I might add that the red lines around here, that's the way District 3 is currently drawn. And of course, he takes by giving these 3,000 blacks to District 5, and then he adds whites to my district by extending my district into the Oak Park area, into the Highland Garden area, as well as picking up a sizable white vote up at Chisholm. And that's the prime difference. And of course, in my proposal, my district would keep the district I currently have, and of course District 5 must be expanded, but the District 5 will be expanded westward by picking up folk out in the Mobile Heights area and what have you, so that District 6 can pick up South Lawn. Because each district must have about the same number of population. Another thing what the mayor did, and that is he took other sections out of my district south of Alabama State and put them into District 7. Not all of it, but part of it. But that's the major difference. In fact, what happens there is that he simply took blacks from me and added whites to my district. And of course, he did not give me the proportionate number of blacks that it would take for a black to get elected. In fact, if the mayor's plan is adopted, no black is going to get elected in District 3. Now, the mayor talks about is 62%. But what the mayor is talking about, he's counting children and people who are non-voting age population. And if you put children with, who are non-voting age with old people or people who are selling middle-aged folk who vote, then there's no way one can win.
Basically, I tried to preserve as nearly as possible the districts all the way around. Mr. Reed and his plan comes in and preserves his district, but butchers up District 7. The red lines are the existing districts, and then are the colored lines under the colored areas under here are the ones that he proposes. District 9 is totally changed from what it was originally. District 8 has only one small portion of it left from the original plan, which is shown in red here. District 7 is changed completely. I was trying to reasonably satisfy 9 council members, and as I said at the preface of my remarks when I presented this, that nobody is going to really like the plan, therefore it will be basically fair.
Mr. Reed has mentioned on several occasions that your plan gerrymanders his district away from him. Does your plan, in fact, do that?
Trouble with Mr. Reed's district is where Mr. Reed lives. Mr. Reed lives at the extreme southern end of his district as it is drawn in the original, in the 1970 census. He still lives at the southern end of his district. And to be able to design a district that has got 19,700 people in it and still maintain his residence inside this district was very difficult. If we really wanted to do him out or gerrymander him out of his district, the line should have been drawn across the interstate, which would be the natural boundary, and have Mr. Reed and Ms. Reynolds in the same district, which they live less than 3/4 of a mile from each other. You know, that's the worst special pleading I ever heard. He says that black children shouldn't count, but there are white children in that same area that don't vote. That's just another way of his chronic complaints. 62% black, you know, should be enough to elect a black in that area. Certainly the white influence will be felt, and That's what he doesn't want. He doesn't want to have to pay any attention to any white votes that would be in there.
Well, District 3, according to the mayor's plan, is 61% black. This has Mr. Reed somewhat concerned, primarily because of the age difference in the black community and the white community. Blacks overall nationwide are younger than whites because they have larger families. Therefore, their median age is younger. I've done a little research into this recently and checked out voter participation rates, and I believe that 61% black will still mean that the majority of voters in that district would be black. To what degree, I'm not exactly sure, nor do we have the census information on age distribution to confirm my belief.
Well, he has mentioned that even though the population will be about 61% black, that most of the blacks in that area are children and other non-voting age people.
Well, that's what I did my research on, and I tried to apply from the 1978 survey that I did, areas that had the greatest number of children and areas that had the greatest number of people who were of voting age. And I tried to make that comparison to District 3 as the mayor drew it up. And every way I ran the figures, I kept coming up with with the 61%, the majority of voters would still be black.
Mr. Reed, you've also said on numerous occasions that 5 of the council members are duty-bound to vote against the mayor's plan because of a 1978 agreement signed by the city council during annexation.
The council members agreed that they would vote for the plan that will most likely assure 4 blacks stand on the council. And I think they are bound to do it because they're under the contract to do it. And of course, if they don't vote for it, I think the problem is that they are simply afraid of the mayor, and therefore they'll vote another way. But the reason I think they are duty-bound to vote for it is because we entered a covenant. We would not have gotten annexation had not the council members agreed to it, because Representative Holmes and Representative Langford had already stopped the bill in the legislature. The mayor came to me and asked me to try to get it loose, and I said we'll do it if we get the agreement. Of course, I did make it very clear that I would not enter any kind of agreement that Councilman Willie Peake was not a party to. Because deep down, I never thought Mayor Fulmer would keep his word. But I said if everybody signed the statement and Councilman Peake participated in the decision-making, then of course we would enter the agreement. We did meet with the mayor. We met in the mayor's office. We entered an agreement. We went before the press and stated our position publicly, and everybody heard it. And of course, that's why I think that everybody's duty-bound to work for the plan that assures blacks are 4 seats on the council. I think this is serious because it means that in the future, the goodwill or whatever trust level we've had for each other is probably diminished, because as I said before, I cannot and will not under any conditions accept anybody's word on the council if the council members and the mayor folks don't keep their words.
The first thing is that Mr. Reed's only concern is his own hide. He couldn't care less about any of the rest of the council districts, and his plan proves that. He has designed a district that covers his own hide and his hide only. Second, he is not gerrymandered out of his district. He is in his district, and that's all the agreement said. Third thing is that he has 62% black population in that district as opposed to a 38% white population, which I don't think violates the spirit or the letter of any agreement. But the overriding consideration is that agreement is meaningless in that one council cannot bind a future council. This council cannot bind a council that will take office in November of 1983. So as far as the agreement is concerned, it has no real meaning. But as far as the spirit of the agreement, 62% of the population being black, I think clearly abides by it.
Is Mayor Emory Farmer's redistricting plan in violation of a 1978 agreement that you and several other council members signed during annexation?
In good spirit, I would say yes. But as far as holding up in court, no. Because we do, the District 3 does have more blacks in it than whites. As I said before, 61%, always be 39%. But I think, in all good faith, knowing the structure of the district, I think we should, not the mayor now, I think we as council people should come up with a plan that be conducive to keeping 4 black council districts.
So are you saying that the mayor's plan would not keep 4 council districts?
I don't think so, not in its present form, unless you have the right kind of person who will really get out there and get those people registered to vote. Because, you know, with people, you just have people. In some households, you might have 10 people, no voters. So we're not counting voters, we're counting people. So what we're gonna have to do, if we don't get any more than 61%, if the federal government say, well, this is all right, then we've got to roll up our sleeves and go to work and tell those people, say, look, people, let's get out here and register ourselves to vote, and let's go to the poll to vote.
During a recent public hearing, some black officials made some comments to you. Have you recently been coerced by any of the black council members or other black politicians? Because you may not necessarily agree with Mr. Reed's plan.
Of course I have, but I don't think we want to elaborate on that. I've been called some of everything. I've been called in the middle of the night. Well, I don't worry about that. You got narrow-minded people that really don't know the score, and I'm out there supposed to represent the people. Sometimes they get confused, and they're all my people, whether in Mr. Reed's district, whether in District 3, 4, 5, or 6, or whatever. They are my people, and I represent them. But that don't disturb me any. What really disturbed me with a politician with a passion accuse you of being something, you know, that you are not. And I don't know what the meaning of an Uncle Tom. Actually, that when I was called Uncle Tom, then I was riled by a person that had no reason for being at a certain meeting at all. His job up in the State House, let's get some legislation on there instead of coming down and messing with the city council, which he has no control over whatsoever. So yes, I get aroused and I get calls, but they don't worry me any. I think the majority of the people are with me, and I think I have the silent majority with me. And I'm not concerned about that minority, vocal majority, that not getting anywhere, that not doing anything, but just putting us back in time.
Mr. Oliver, what is the situation with the black council members? Why are they trying to get you to vote with them?
They seem to think that we black council stick together, that we make a good showing, so to speak. I'm not for a good showing. I'm for improvement. I am for improvement to the percentage-wide of the district that we're going to lose. 5 would beat 4 anytime. And if we lose, if we vote together, it's 4. And we gain nothing, we have gained nothing. But if we can get some more percentage points, say from 61%, or 65%, or 70%, then we'll have gained something. But why stick with black, the councilman, if you're losing? Why not try to gain something? Why not try to improve your lot? Instead of showing how brave you are, that don't happen whatsoever. And so I'm not going to just sit there, vote with the black councilman just to be voting with the black councilman. I want some improvement for that district out there. I want some more percentage points going to that district. I have no intention just to profile and style and say we black councilmen sticking together and losing.